the Big K, Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest three stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Man, I'm sitting there watching this video last night of this hit-and-run victim in Coriopolis. My God. Oh, it's just horrible. This poor guy was crossing the street, kind of sort of looking both ways. And right there on 4th Avenue in Coriopolis, if you're familiar, this car plowed. It's hard to watch, man. I mean, car plowed into him. He didn't have a chance. Awful. Awful. He's dead. And they arrested a man who is an illegal immigrant. And the rhetoric begins. But the facts are clear that this could get dicey for several reasons. By the way, ICE has been kicking ass. It's a very difficult job. It's a dangerous job. It's a thankless job. They're getting beat up all over the country, literally and figuratively. I wouldn't do that job. They're offering $50,000 bonuses. To hell with that. It's just too much crap. But the issue here is, by doing its job, could we get this guy and end up putting him out of the country, deporting him before he sees any justice here, before he's actually charged? Because these investigations take time. My good friend Mad Max, one of my boys who has a significant number of law enforcement sources, Max, we know that it's an illegal immigrant that was driving this car that killed this man. Yes? Confirmed, right?
That is correct. Confirmed. Yes.
Now, Max, according to your sources that are very connected to all this stuff, we can have a quandary here, a legal quandary. Kind of explain that, please, because this is a big deal.
So typically what would happen in a situation like this person would be remanded to local PD custody and then sent to ACJ. But because he was an ICE fugitive, potentially, ICE was notified, and now he's in ICE custody, and ICE isn't in the habit of, or business, I should say, of jailing people pending trial status. They're in the business of deporting illegal immigrants. So, like you said, the issue here is it's still under investigation. They're still gathering evidence, and it's kind of pending, court status. So could this guy end up being deported before all the facts are gathered and he's formally charged by, the DA or, whatever? So there's a very real possibility that he goes back to his home country and he never sees justice, and he'll never come back here. Why would you if you're a fugitive?
No question. It's an insanely valid point. It's an important conversation. And I think everybody should know what's going on here. Number one, Max, once someone is picked up for a hit and run like this, it takes time to do this investigation before they're formally charged. Does it not, sir?
It does. And I'm told that there's only a handful of guys that do these crash scene investigations, and they're all very, very busy.
Yep.
So that's kind of the bottleneck here, is getting these guys to, do this, because they've got a lot of cases in the pipeline.
And what kind of is extraordinary, too, is that ICE took him immediately. What does that tell you, sir, according to your sources?
Well, that tells me that this guy was already on the radar and wanted by ICE. Otherwise, he would have been remanded to local police and then, sent to ACJ. The other issue, I'm told, is a possibility, is the local PD reached out to ICE potentially because they knew if they sent this guy to ACJ, ACJ isn't going to honor the detainer by ICE, and then this guy's going to get released and then potentially flee the country anyway. So there's a couple of things that are kind of, potential stuff, but it's hard to say. But regardless, he's in ICE custody, and it's a very real possibility that this guy ends up getting deported before his day in court.
I'm
the other
asking
thing,
you to, Max, you might not be able to answer this, but Max has extensive sources in law enforcement. Wouldn't local folks have a conversation with ICE and say, hold him while we do our job? And wouldn't ICE just say, hell yeah, do your job?
well, again, you have a lot of municipalities that will not cooperate and have publicly stated so with ICE, unfortunately.
Excellent point.
The other thing, I just want to point out is there was a protest in Ambridge where this guy was picked up last Thursday evening. So the other real possibility exists that this guy was not picked up that night because of the protest, and as a result of this protest, a life was lost when he probably could have been picked up the prior Thursday in Ambridge when they were out there doing whatever they were doing. You know what I'm saying?
You're kind of connecting some dots here that might not be connectable. To suggest that they would have picked this guy up is kind of hit or miss. Not fair, actually. As if they knew he was at this protest, as if they knew he was floating around. I guess you could say that and speculate that. I want to stick to the facts here, and it's dramatic of what could happen. I would think that there has to be some arrangement, but Max makes a point that is valid as hell. Some of these local towns, some of these cities, Pittsburgh, Wilkinsburg, Philly, are saying to hell with ICE. We ain't working with you. That could be a problem, could it not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that would enrage a lot of folks, would it not, Max?
Well, I mean, it's just a shame that, everybody can't work together to, these people are in the country illegally. I mean, that's it, point blank.
Completely 100% agree. Could not agree more. This is insanely ridiculous and obnoxious if local law enforcement agencies, especially in a case like this, won't work with ICE. That could result in this happening. That is despicable and vile. Mad Max, it makes you think, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
You got it, sir.
Man.
Yep, bye.
When I got that information, I said, hell no. There's no way that can happen. So in this scenario, there is a possibility, we're not saying it's happening now, that before extremely busy accident investigative officers, usually with the state police, quite frankly, sometimes the county has them, the city has its own, that before they investigate this, before they charge this illegal, this person could be deported. I'm hoping that folks use common sense, that men and women in power say, that ain't happening. He's staying and facing this jury in America. Because if he's deported, you create outrage. And this wonderful man that was killed and his family and friends never see justice. Just pain and sorrow. Let's just hope to heck that doesn't happen.